Will you open up with me? These pages, they can feed your innermost desires. Do you feel inspired? Are you getting what you need? Are you coming curiously? A secret safe with me. And here you can simply be yourself. Sweet romance. Come on in, come on in, come on.
Hi, y'all. This is Jace, she, they, and you found Jace Reads Romance. It is my heartfelt wish that we actually make a mini episode about forearms.
That's my laughter of disbelief.
You know what? I think that it is possible, and I don't appreciate the hate. So we're doing these monthly mini forearm episodes because they will never not be funny to me. Though I will say, statistically, the month of May had fewer books with forearm references than the month of April. So maybe I just read the wrong books. Maybe I read fewer books. I don't know. But there are some heavy hitting books about forearms. There is one book with 3 quotes about forearms.
Whoa.
So I know, because I know Seffi will judge me if I don't. There is a wave to these quotes.
They are all going to think I'm this horrible, judgmental person.
No, you're not. I think you just have high expectations because I set up the first episode so well that anything other than that is just slightly disappointing. Honestly, not that the first episode was the best or that it had the best forum quotes all around, but it ended with such a banger that you can't stop it. All right, so some of these are for, this is also, fuck it. Okay.
What were you going to say?
I don't know what I was going to say. Actually, there isn't necessarily sections the way that, well, I was going to say that some of these are about tattoos, and then I wanted to surprise you, but then you asked me what I was going to say.
I did.
So,
okay.
Surprise.
Okay.
But there isn't necessarily a sectioning off the way there have been in the past. There is just a casual curve escalation things that I enjoyed. So this one we're getting through because it's not really about the forearms, but it mentions forearms, so it goes. Also, didn't like the book, but it is The Doctor by Nikki Sloan. The quote is, "He didn't just have beautiful hands. His forearms and biceps were perfect too, all tight and toned without being bulky."
Without being bulky? What is that?
Bulky.
What does that mean? What is the definition of a bulky forearm?
I was like, what does tight and toned mean? Like, that made me think skinny arms. But also, he didn't just have beautiful hands. His forearms and biceps were perfect too. These kind of general things, perfect. I'm like, you don't know what perfect means to me. You don't know what it means to Seffi. It's going to be probably based on our conversation. It's going to be very, very different. But I don't know, if you're 19, anything is fine.
I guess.
Sorry. This episode better come out after my ranting episode, but I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to flip the 2 quotes in the next book. They're not going to go in sequential order, but they're going to go in these 2. So the book is 3 Holidays and a Wedding by Uzma Jalaluddin and Marissa Stapley. And the first quote, it comes after the second quote, but I want to share it now. It is, "He had really nice forearms," which in general, like, doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, he had really nice forearms, but it's the second time she's mentioned his forearms. The first was, "He had pushed up the sleeves of his hoodie and her gaze lingered on his forearms, which were ropey with muscle now. Because she knew him when they were kids. Like, he's an adult.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh
So he doesn't have
like,
little kid arms anymore. He has some definition of muscle to
Ropey
them.
that's why the now happens. I mean, we could have just
Gotcha.
ended with Ropey with muscle, but that's not the sentence. So don't come at me. It was a full sentence. There's the context. So now that we know she's obsessed with his forearms, it does make sense that her next time mention was like, he had really nice forearms. Oh my gosh, overwhelming with the niceness of his forearms.
The ropey description gets me too. Like the way that they find ways to describe muscles in forearms alone, it shocks me. I'm like, I don't know, pleasantly surprised, but I am surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like, considering all the ways that authors have figured out how to describe forearms, why can't they figure out better ways to describe external clit stimulation during penetrative intercourse?
I know.
Your creativity is on the wrong thing.
Okay, so here's a question. With all of the forearm episodes that we have, and Michael, you can put this wherever, but all of the forearm episodes that we have, could we identify forearms as secondary sexual characteristics?
I mean, I don't think medically that our opinion has any bearing whatsoever, but I am not going to say no to that. Apparently, they are secondary sex characteristics when it comes to romance novels.
Romance novels, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This next quote is from Archer by Dr. Rebecca Sharp. His thick brown hair was combed into order underneath the Red Sox hat he always removed as he crossed the threshold, giving me ample opportunities to admire the veins snaking over his forearm muscles and the dusting of hair covering them.
See? Snaking. What? Why?
Snaking. So body hair. Let's celebrate body hair.
Yes. Yes.
Anytime a hairy chest is mentioned,
yeah.
Anytime some good old-fashioned body hair is mentioned, I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. You don't hear that hardly at all.
Nope. No, not about arm hair. Like sometimes you get chest hair and you're like, thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And rarely do you even, yeah?
Or you get like the happy trail. Like you get that description.
Oh,
that
happens a lot. That. But I don't know why, but I don't consider that body hair. Like I don't consider that body hair the way that I don't consider it a beard body hair.
No, I agree. Like because it's mentioned more than anything else when it comes to
happy trails, definitely. But that's I guess I kind of associate that with pubic hair. Like it's always mentioned in a sexual way or in reference to genitalia. Fair. So I think of that the way that you would describe pubic hair on a mons for someone with a mons.
That's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like if the bush was revealed.
Yeah.
That's how I view that happy trail. Like it's about sex. It's not about just like
it is
body hair. So this is Blindsided by Amy Dawes. This is the person who had the hot ankles and calves quote that I shared with you a while ago, which is just so great. So great. He's wearing freshly pressed black trousers and a white dress shirt cuffed at the sleeves, showing hints of his tattooed arms.
Tattoos.
It doesn't say forearms, but you know that's exactly what's showing from the cuffed sleeves. That's for you.
Yay.
It's really challenging every time I come across one of these not to be like, click, tattooed forearms. Or, save it. Save it.
Save it.
Jeez,
don't
come
send
on.
it to me.
So this next book is Gilded Princess by Penelope Black. It's got 3 quotes in it. And I'm not going to lie, 2 of them are about different men. I don't know who the last one is about, quite honestly. But this is a beginning stages of a why choose situation. So there are multiple men involved in this.
Got it.
Yeah. The man behind me chuckles, the noise soft and rich like melted chocolate. He steps forward again. His arm just barely grazes mine as he pushes his card further toward Amanda with his index finger. My gaze zeroes in on his veins like a homing beacon. What is it about those veins on a man's forearm?
What is it? I would love to know.
I could not tell you, but apparently it is something.
There is something.
Something about veins, something about Mary. So that's one. Oh my God, we're such a hot mess.
I know.
Matteo Rossi stands inside the door frame with his back against the wall and his hands in his pockets. Black pants, black shoes, and a crisp button-down shirt. The sleeves are rolled halfway up his forearms, displaying all his tattoos, some of which I don't remember seeing 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this one, I don't know who this is about because, like I said, there are multiple men in this situation,
right.
But it's clear, like, here we go. He casually rolls up his sleeves, revealing his dark tattoos inch by delicious inch as he looks between the three of us with a raised brow.
That's a fun image. I kind of like that one.
It's the delicious inch that, like, I get that. Also, as we've mentioned, this involves the action of rolling up the sleeves. So that moment of removing the veneer of civility, I'm not at work anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the eyebrow at the end there, that was just seeing, I can see it playing out in my head, that scene, that little moment.
I feel like there was a period of time where the eyebrow raise was everywhere and it was a real deal. And you can raise your eyebrows like that. Can you?
Not one by itself.
Really? So
not well. I can do it if I focus, I can kind of do it, but not really. Now, my best friend, who is a teacher, got it down. She kind of has to. She's a teacher.
This is the funny part is, y'all will never see this, but I have very dramatic eyebrows. Y'all will never see this, but I have incredibly dramatic eyebrows and I can eyebrow raise with the best of them. Like, it is so significant. And I'm ambidextrous when it comes to my eyebrow raises. I can do both sides separately or together, which isn't an eyebrow raise, but I forgot about it. But I do remember the first time reading about it and just going, can not everybody do that? And apparently not.
No.
But I feel like it went out of favor for a little bit, that eyebrow raise.
It did. But I think it portrays such a stance of control in a situation. So I completely get why it was a thing. And I feel like it should still be a thing.
I wondered why it stopped being a thing. I remember reading a lot more eyebrow raises.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things like green eyes. Y'all, not many people have green eyes, but everyone has green eyes in romance novels. And I wondered at some point, well, I can do it, but not many other people can do it. So is this just one of those things that is becoming popular in romance novels, even though most people can't eyebrow raise?
I think it is. Again, I think it lends that idea that the person who does it is like quietly in control of the situation because they're not like vocally making their control known. They're not, it's barely a physical motion, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Also, I wonder if because it's not as common, it's such a surprising thing. Like, oh, wow. Like you're giving me an eyebrow raise. I don't know. I've always been able to do it. So.
I don't know.
Sorry, y'all. Like Steffi doesn't even know. Steffi doesn't even know what my eyebrows look like.
Nope. I don't.
Okay. Next up, we've got Silent Vows by Jill Ramsauer. For the first time, he wasn't wearing his suit jacket, and the sleeves of his light blue dress shirt were rolled to his elbows, giving me a view of the ink covering his skin. I was surprised to see that the other forearm was bare, devoid of ink. What was beneath the rest of his shirt?
See, I liked that one because it was like it used the forearms as like a jumping off point for the rest of his chest and upper body.
No, it didn't. Well, I mean, like, what's the rest? Where's the ink end? Okay, yeah.
So, kind of like that one.
It's not a bad one.
It just it makes me think. It makes me think of my friend. Because she's getting all of her tattoos on one arm and it annoys the crap out of me. I'm like, make it even. Sorry. Michael, don't put that in.
Oh, gosh. That's funny. But I also, like, don't know. It's funny that it bothers you.
I know. She thinks it's hilarious.
I think it's really funny that it bothers you.
I don't know
because
why.
I think, like, sleeves are so like, is it a sleeve or is it just tattoos?
No, it's like she has like 4 separate tattoos.
I mean, I have this personal information about me, y'all. I have no tattoos. None. I have no desire to have a tattoo. So, like, anyone, like, no offense, but anytime someone's like, well, I'm like, I don't have any opinion about how you put tattoos on your body because I have no desire to put tattoos on my body. So, like, even odd, who knows? I don't care.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's like weirdly asymmetrical and I don't like it. I don't know why. It is a weird quirk.
Yeah. I'm going to say that your feelings are valid, and I'm glad that your friend makes fun of you for them.
Thank you. Yes.
Because her decisions are also valid.
Yes.
We've got 2 quotes from the next one.
Oh, no.
Lessons in Chemistry by Gianna Darling. Oh my gosh, so funny. He wore his long, glossy black hair tied back in a thick, messy man bun at the base of his brown neck. His plaid back and... I actually wonder if these are about 2 different people. I think these quotes are about 2 different people, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
He wore his long, glossy black hair tied back in a thick, messy man bun at the base of his brown neck. His plaid black and red shirt sleeves rolled up haphazardly over quilted forearms the size of one of my calves. Those are massive.
Those are huge.
I don't like. This is the problem.
I'm like comparing my own leg right now.
I don't like. I have some good calves.
Same.
You should not have an arm the size of my calf.
No. Like, I think my forearm is like at least half the size of my calf, if not smaller.
I have incredibly tiny wrists. Incredibly tiny wrists and forearms.
You do.
You do. I love that you've noticed.
I broke Chase, y'all.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, I was like not expecting that. Also, I'm so flattered and oh gosh. Yeah, I have like incredibly skinny wrists and forearms to support that. And so the idea of like no, oh my gosh, like no thank you. Which is why I also think that this is someone else, because knowing the MMC in this book, this second quote makes me think that it's about him, and the other one might be about his dad. Don't read into it. It's not that kind of book, but it might be about his dad.
Okay.
Okay, second quote. My eyes skirted over the corded tendons in his forearms, The way the blue of his rolled up sleeves made his arm hair look like pure gold, his skin another shade of the same color.
Of gold?
Gold, apparently.
So I'm assuming he's like tannish colored.
I mean, if you have gold body hair, I'm just assuming you're blonde.
Yes.
Which is why I think he's blonde and that his dad has black hair. At least the cover model of this book is blonde. It's Lessons in Chemistry by Gianna Darling, if I didn't say that. Something that makes me laugh because I'm looking at it now is Gianna Darling spells color with a U. I don't know if she's British, but she spells it with a U, and it does not take place in England. Like, the story does not take place in England. So that also, I just noticed. I don't think I noticed it while I was reading it.
It just happened to pop out. That's too funny.
Okay. Next quote. The Trouble with Hating You by Sajani Patel. Instead of reminding me how late it was, that he needed to be up early, or any number of viable excuses, Jay rolled up his sleeves and exposed wide, muscular forearms. His gaze never left mine. There was something extremely sexy about the way he did this.
Okay, wide. What constitutes a wide forearm? Like. Like, I don't.
Does it just mean wider than the wrist? Does it just mean it has that shape?
I don't know. Like, does it go like that? Like, what? What does it do? Like a bowling pin? Like, is that what it's supposed to look That's the only image that came in my head.
Everything when we'll hit a point where every single time we make these episodes where like it's like cartoons just appear in our brains. Like we're no longer thinking of humans. It's only cartoons. Oh God. This is the one that always made me giggle, and I put it before because I like the one that I'm ending on later, but okay. This is from Flirting with Fire by Piper Rain. His strong forearms that have probably axed down thousands of doors are crossed over his chest. I can't even fault the girl for staring at him like he's the latest Hollywood heartthrob because he looks exactly like that. He is a fireman, like he axes down doors. So like
yes, he does.
That have probably axed down thousands of doors. He said launched 1,000 ships.
That's exactly what I was thinking. His forearms are Helen of Troy. Yes.
Right?
Oh, man.
Last one, y'all. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. For those of you who've read other series of hers, let me know if this is a trend or if this is just a one-time thing. Even the flex of the muscles of his forearm was beautiful, each tendon working like a string in an orchestra, elegant and graceful.
Dear God.
Why?
And this just goes to show you how like silly my brain is right now. I didn't put the fact that it was flex, F-E-L-X or F-L-E-X. I thought it was F-L-E-C-K-S, like flex of something. So I was really confused for 5 seconds.
A forearm like a string in an orchestra.
I know. Like, all I can think about is like gut strings that like some instrument strings are made out of animal guts or were once upon a time.
Yeah. All I was going to say is like, have you seen someone play the bass of the cello? Like they have some strong ass forearms.
Yes,
like,
yes they do.
Like those, I'm not picturing the orchestra. I'm like, you know what? The bassist of an orchestra probably does have some big ass fucking forearms. Like they have got, gosh, they got a spread. I can't finish that sentence because it sounds so dirty. So dirty. All right, y'all. So here we go. I think we might have done it, a mini episode, something in the 20s.
We did.
I'm so proud of us.
Yay.
But this is something that I plan to keep going. If you hate this and you just want to say, hey, Jace, stop with the forearms, get whatever you've got for other body parts together. I need to talk about something other than some fucking forearms. Let me know. We can take a break for a month or 2 or 5. Not really, because there really aren't that many other quotes about body parts that are as surprisingly ridiculous as this. It doesn't happen. It is so rare that someone's chest is talked about with the insanity that forearms are. So it's just going to keep happening. But you can let me know and we can take a pause for a month and talk about some other things like ankles. It's just one quote. It's just one quote about ankles. It's so good. It's a good one. Thank you, Steffi, for suffering, for being my guinea pig, for having to listen to this.
I never suffer with forearms episodes. They're amazing.
Never suffer. And there were some tattooed ones here, which I know is your favorite. I know. All right. Thanks, y'all. Bye. That's it for today, y'all. This has been a 3 Paws Productions podcast. Our producer is Steffi. Michael Achenbach is our patient editor. Our theme song is written and performed by Diana Weishauer. You can find show notes and so much more at jacereadsromance.com. That's JAYCE Reads Romance. Follow along on TikTok and Instagram at Jace Reads Romance. If you'd like to ask a question or share a story for the podcast, call and leave a message at 661-JACE-RR. That's 661-529-2377. Or send an email to jace@jacereadsromance.com. Finally, like and subscribe so you can get every episode when they drop. You can also leave us a review to help others find us. And remember, this is Jace holding space for you.